Yo, welcome to thy show. I'm your man, Smitty, and we've got a fun little show planned today. Number one, we're going to go over NFL schedules, as you can see, in hour two, maybe a little bit of hour one. Hour one, we're going to kick it off with our favorite time, our favorite little segment that we developed last episode. I don't know how I'd say we developed it last episode, but we implemented it on the live show last episode, and that was, hey Smitty, we'll get the cane out as well, give out some rulings, judge a lot of your trades. We are at 6.7K. Let's get the word out that the show needs more followers, subscribers. Get the word out. We're at 6.7K. I want to thank you all for getting us to 6.7K. Thumbs up for the show, says Big Dog. Appreciate that. And yeah, a little announcement here for Jack. Jack is in the Dynasty League that I'm in. I'm in a league. You want to play with me? We've got 2 openings. 2 people bailed from their league. And we need to fill those spots. I don't know. I think one of them, Big Dog, are you in that league? There's 2 spots open in the league. I don't know if one of them is actually yours and you haven't logged in. We have 2 spots, I believe, for this league. It's a Dynasty existing league. Don't mess with me about it. Who are the teams? Show me the teams. Like, just DM me on Instagram if you're interested. If you want to get in on this league, it's like a, I don't know, 20 cookie buy-in. It's very, very small. Wipe thy feet, says Mike. But if you want in a Dynasty League, it's already existing. You're going to have to take the teams that we give you. There's 2 of them. Okay, it's not you, Big Dog. There's 2 of them. If you want a spot, message me on Instagram. DM me. Slide into the DMs. Say, Smitty, I want one of those spots in the Dynasty League. Remind me. I'm going to forget already. You're going to be like, Smitty, I want to be in a league with you. And I'm going to be like, bro, I do too many leagues. I'm sorry, I can't do any. And you're going to be like, no, I'm talking about the league, Smitty. Remind me. Be clear, be precise, or no, you won't get in. No. So if you want a spot, send me a DM. And 2 people bailed. So we have room. And I'm in the league. So if you want to be in a league with me, there you go. Okay, it's time. You know what time it is. It's time for Hey Smitty, Judge Smitty. You know the deal. This is what we're doing. Okay, hour 2 we'll put over here. We're doing schedule later. Right now it's hour 1, baby. Hour 1 is all about Hey Smitty, Judge Smitty. What do I do with my trade, Smitty? It's that time. So fill the chat up with your questions. We are going to roll through one after the other. No, yes. No. Alexa, show me the front door.
Okay.
Who's at the front door? Oh, it's Miss Smitty. Alexa, off. That's okay. She can come home. We just didn't know what was going on. All right. Hit me with the questions. Putting them on the screen. I will judge them. Jury, execution, everything. Executioner, everything. And I do have an announcement to make. Your man, Smitty, Senior Smitty, is releasing a music video. I have a don't laugh. This song that you heard a little earlier, this is the music. I produced a freaking music video. It's the best thing since Boats and Hoes meets On the Boat meets whatever amazing music video and song you've ever seen in your life. It's all of them in one. And it is coming out at, I believe, 4 p.m. Pacific time. That will be 7 p.m. Eastern on Instagram. And it comes out tonight. So 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern, my music video I still miss Smitty, don't worry. My music video comes out, so let's watch it. Okay, back to questions. Fill the chat up with questions. I'm going through one after the other. Isn't this song? It's called Trade to the Bay, and it's the best rap song and video you've seen in a long, long time. This is going to be your jam. You'll be driving through the streets of wherever you live, bumping this song. When you hear the audio, the vocals, the music video, you will not be able to put it down. You will play this on repeat over and over and over. It's vulgar. It's crude. It's Boats and Hose meets what's the company that owns them? On Step Brothers, the Enterprise. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Time for first question. First question. The guy that gave me the 1.10 wants to trade down and give me the 1.7 if I give him the future first round also. That's only 3 spots. I like moving up, Nev. I'm always a fan of getting rid of a future first rounder to get a really high pick, but you're talking about 3 spots. You're still maybe going to miss a lot of the big dogs. Not high enough, Nev. For the 1.4, I probably would. For the 1.7, not high enough, Nev. Not high enough. Jack says the league name is Quarantine Fantasy League, boys. DM Smitty. If you want in the league, Prestige Worldwide. That's it, Mike. Prestige Worldwide. If you want in the league, DM me on Instagram, The Fantasy Football Show. We have 2 spots available in an existing league. You got to take what you can get. I think it's like 20 cookies to play. And you want to play with me? DM me on IG. Okay. Next up. Oh, real quickly. Prestige Worldwide. I was trying to remember what the label was for the Boats and Hose song. And my song's better than this song. And Prestige Worldwide is probably going to be calling to sign me and take me away from all of you. But I won't do it. I'm going to only make sure that negotiated in, I can still remain a social media tycoon in the fantasy football world. I won't accept anything less, but Prestige Worldwide will be calling about my music video that releases on Instagram tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. It's called Trade to the Mother Bay. Trade to the Mother Bay is the name of the song. Wait till you see it. You will be amazed. It's the best thing I've ever produced. Frankly. The best. Which I agree with. Okay, next up. Austin. Hey Smitty, should I keep Odell, Gibson, or Sanders in my Dynasty League? So, number 1, Austin, by the way you're wording this, it's not a Dynasty League. It sounds like a Keeper League. Contempt right there for lying to me. You can't call a Keeper League a Dynasty League. Dynasty League, you keep everybody. This is called lying, Austin. You were in contempt of Smitty's court. Answering your question, Odell, garbage. Sanders, failed you. Gibson, phenomenal and second round worthy. I mean, I don't even care if there are like rounds tied to this. If Gibson was like a 5th round keeper and Sanders and Odell were 75th round keepers, you take the value in Gibson. Gibson's a 2nd round pick, so if you're keeping him in your keeper league, Austin, better than a 3rd rounder, you're making out. Gibson by a mile. Community service for your betrayal. Okay, you're my boy, Austin. You're my boy. Voice of Reason says Gibson easy. Okay, next question. I'll put you in line here. Okay, these are in line. These questions are in line. We're getting a little carried away in the comments here. Keep it coming though. I love it. Also, I tried trading A-Rob and Miles Sanders for the 1.3 and Marvin. Marvin who? Marvin Jones? A-Rob and Miles Sanders. Nev, you need to get my HeySmitty.com. It's right in front of your face right here. HeySmitty.com. It's not that these are like horrible offers, but you definitely are giving up a ton, and you got to be careful. I'm not saying I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying I don't know what you're going to have left. So we have to really make sure we work with you. On this one, I'm going to say context matters. The 1.3 probably is more valuable, but you may not have enough left to even compete. So, undecided. Okay, next up. Do you think I'll get Carter with the 1.7? 45% chance, yes. That's about where he starts going, bro. Especially if people watch my show. Because I love Carter. I think Carter's going to be phenomenal. Next question. How can I get rid of Bridgewater? How can I get rid of Bridgewater to acquire Judy? I'm confused because you want him to throw to Judy, right? Okay. To get rid of Bridgewater to get Judy, you have to take your fingers, spit on them, rub together, reach down deep, pull out a pony, and ask someone to give you Jerry Judy for Bridgewater. Bro, how can you get Judy for Bridgewater? Try giving up a future first rounder if you've got an awful first rounder. I think it's going to be tough to do anything like a second. No one's going to pull that. Is giving up a first rounder for Judy too much? Depends on your first rounder. If it's a 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, in hindsight, I'm not going to like that. If you're going to have a 1.12 or a 1.11, then I love Jerry Judy. But Bridgewater, I mean, if they need a quarterback, it's a super flex league. Try, Mike, throwing out a second rounder in Bridgewater. Try doing that for Jerry Judy. If it's super flex, you didn't give me the context. You came to court without your paperwork. But Mike, I'm going to say you're probably thinking super flex, or you wouldn't even try to get cute and do this kind of trade. Super flex, I get it. Second rounder, Bridgewater, Judy, get it done. Now get out of my courtroom. Next up, I've got that one already. I can't remember if I'm in that one. Well, there's one with a big dog in it, and they're looking for him. Okay. Preston, should I make any moves? My running backs are Dobbins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jonathan Taylor, Swift. Wide receivers are A.J. Brown, Ridley, Godwin, Higgins. Okay, so Dobbins, Clyde, both. I'd say Dobbins you could maybe trade high. Dobbins has got good trade value if you wanted to trade him. Do you want to trade him? I don't know why you would. He's fantastic unless you're getting, Justin Jefferson back, which you could try. Then you don't really want to trade him because his value could only climb and increase. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a 3.5 to 4th round guy. You can't get better value than that. I keep Clyde on the team. Taylor you keep. A.J. Brown, Ridley you keep. Godwin and Dobbins for a Kamara. Godwin and Dobbins for a McCaffrey. Even if you give up, let's say, a couple second rounders, something like that. Like, would I upgrade J.K. Dobbins to get him into a little safer vehicle? Because J.K.'s a little risky. Yeah, I give up Godwin and Dobbins all day for one better player. You have Clyde. You have Taylor. You have Swift. I trade Swift on the high. I forgot about Swift down there in the corner. Didn't capitalize his name, so I forgot. I overlooked him again. Swift. I overlook him all the time. Swift and Godwin. I'd rather do that. Keep JK. Swift has really high value. Trade Swift. Overruled. Don't trade Dobbins. I repeat. Somebody get him back here. Preston. Somebody get Preston back here. I think he already left. Damn it. Don't trade Dobbins. Preston. Trade Swift and Godwin for a better player. Swift and Godwin for Justin Jefferson. Cross streams with them. Go wide receiver. Cross streams, go wide receiver. Get Justin Jefferson. He gets good old Swifty boy. And Godwin. Go get a get any DK. Get any top 5 wide receiver. Broski. Go do it. I like that. If you want to go running back, Then running backs you could attack, like a Harris. I'd take a Harris over a Swift and Godwin. I would. You may think I'm crazy, but I don't care because I love Harris. I don't love Swift at all. Swift's playing for the Lions. The Lions could win 1, 2, 3 games. We're gonna go over schedule right here in a little bit. I'm not about that. I'm not about that at all. I'd much rather have Harris, a guarantee, a Jefferson, a DK Metcalf. You already have 2 of the other guys I'd name, AJ Brown or Ridley, or I would say those 2. You already have Taylor. You already have my undervalued Clyde. Who's your quarterback? I would go get, if you have a crappy quarterback, get a top quarterback with Swift even. You're in a good spot though, Preston. Okay. Max Fire. I'm gonna try and get to all of these. You might have to ask him again. We're getting kind of backlogged here. Smitty, who's your favorite deep sleeper dynasty running back in a slow draft right now on the RN? Max Fire wants to know on the RN who my favorite deep sleeper running back is. Trey Sermon, bro. Trey Sermon's the answer. Trey Sermon's the name. Trey Sermon is the guy that can go from rags to riches. Trey Sermon can go from being a running back 4, 5, 6 to somebody in fantasy and being the team's 4, 5, 6, mind you, to the top. Is the risk? Absolutely. May he never start a game? It's certainly possible. Look me in the eye and understand that, bro. Okay? Don't go giving up the farm. Deep sleeper, you asked me. In redraft, you get him at a running back 4 or 5. He could be a top 5 to 10 running back per start if he gets in there. Dismissed. I know you're not big on, let's see, let me get rid of this. Austin, I know you're not a big tight end guy, but, sorry, but do you hurt any mid-round tight ends, preferably high upside, okay value? I'm going to say, bro, the couple tight ends, the high ends I heart are probably going to be Tunyon I got in the 90s and got laughed at by a bunch of kids that weren't even born yet when I started professionally doing fantasy football. Their parents hadn't even met yet when I started playing fantasy football. Okay, and I drafted Tunyon in the 90s in a dynasty, 95, something, I don't know what pick it was, and they laughed at me. Tunyon doesn't match the profile, Smitty. The age profile, he's old. He doesn't match the breakout year and ratio of gigawatt times molecules underscore divided by the suplex undergarment of the step ratio magnetic pulse that tells us that a player could break out. You can't do that. How did you find Waller? Waller was an outlier, Smitty. Tunyon is the answer. Tunyon can be top 5, and yet Tunyon will fall into the 6 to 10, sometimes 8 to 12 range. I also like a little Goddard. I also like a little Logan Thomas. I also like a little Fant, if you will, but we're talking deep. It's Goddard. We're talking deep in the rankings. We're talking about maybe a little Rob Gronkowski, if you will, for a year. Even in a dynasty, be like, I'll address it next year, or I'll draft a young up-and-coming guy, throw Gronk in there. Don't be afraid to play the now game a little bit, especially with a thin tight end position where you think you're going to try and find gold and it's not going to be there. So just draft a guy like Gronk or something, or get Tunyon. Tunyon's fine. Tunyon will do just fine. Irv Smith's okay. Casually late. Oh, so Tunyon. Casually late. In contempt for being late. Kenny, you must now DM this link out to several people, please, to make up for being late. And if you all would message everyone you know, and here's the link that you can spread around, message everyone you know about the show and get them in here. Okay? Next up. Kenny, Take a lap for being late. Ray. My running backs are Cook, Gibson, Eckler. My wide receivers are A-Rob. I assume that's Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Thielen, PPR. QBs are Brady, Dallas week 1, Big Ben, Dalton. Should I try and trade for Stafford? I don't know, man. Why go for the same old value? Like, I like Stafford. I mean, as much as the next average person, not the guy that's a super fan. But why go after a big dog? Go after Allen or Herbert. Or you know, you want to get really crazy, go Burrow, you know, even coming off an injured year. But I don't know that I go trading around for a Stafford. Like, that's just going to make the team, you know, put yourself in the same place and get rid of some depth piece, you know. I love Gibson, I love Cook, I love Eckler. I don't love the wide receivers like I love the running backs, so I would maybe look to trade for a Jefferson using Allen or Eckler or future first rounder with A-Rob, like something like that. Beef up the wide receivers a tad. Roll with Brady for now. Try and buy low on a, you know, Jalen Hurts or A-Rod. Get another similar types of Brady in there if you can get him cheap. But I don't know that I'd go after like a Stafford. Lawrence. Plenty of ways to make that team amazing, bro. Okay. Al, I don't know. JT or Gibson for a keeper. Okay. We may have our first take a lap. Please don't take this the wrong way, bro. We need you here. Don't leave. Don't leave.
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
Just a little bit of a lappy poo for that one, okay, bro? Only because, think about it. JT's going in a dynasty league. Some people have him at 1.1, bro. Some people have him at 1.1. I'm not saying those people are correct. I'm not saying those people are wrong. But so many people have JT as their number 1 dynasty running back. Gibson is amazing. Okay, I love Gibson. But he's a second rounder. JT is arguably very comfortably in the top 5 for fantasy football overall, and definitely in the top 5 running backs in dynasty. So the value alone, like if you did like Gibson better, you can't keep Gibson. You can try and trade JT away for a pick, or I don't know how your offseason works, but you don't take it. If you don't take advantage of JT's trade value, at least you're going to be kicking yourself later. Gibson's a second rounder. He's a fantastic second rounder. But JT is a top 5 overall pick in dynasty, or top 7 at least. Bad boy. Okay. Good problem to have, though. Don't take too big of a lap. Zeke or D. Henry as a keeper. First of all, David, you're on borrowed time, whichever way you. Zeke, mileage through the roof. You look at running backs with Zeke's mileage, and they're non-existent. They don't even do anything anymore. You don't even draft them. But I think Zeke's a rare bird. I think Zeke has one more good year left. I think we worry about him more next year. Maybe he does miss a couple games this year, though, but he plays high level until he misses the games. That's part of the decline. You're either going to decline production-wise, or you decline because you get hurt and then you can never stay healthy again. But the decline is real. The mileage adds up. Zeke's going to break down. Henry's your pick for this year, okay? Because at least you have a shot at him being elite, top 5 running back for 1 year. I still worry about him. I still trade him high. But Henry, you're drafting over Zeke all day long, and they both have similar risk, and Zeke's, you could say, is a little bit more mileage concerned. Henry, easy call, but I do try and sell him high. I like turtles. In contempt of court. Wasting the court's time with such childish behavior. Zeke and Henry aren't long-term players. You should move on from both. Again, what I said was draft Henry. If you couldn't move on, you draft Henry and you hope he plays the whole year because he's not declined talent-wise. Zeke, we're not sure. We saw Zeke drop off a little, but I think he'll be okay. But still, an easy call to go with our boy Derrick Henry until he drops off. I like Derrick Henry. Make no mistake about it. This is not like the Todd Gurley content I created so many months ago. I'm hungry. I don't know why. Maybe it's the turtle comment, but now all of a sudden I want an omelet. I want a turtle omelet. Damn yards. Where am I at? Claypool or Higgins? Higgins, bro. T. Higgins? This is a tough one. I first wanted to say no. I like Claypool. He's got the alpha potential of the three wide receivers. I know everybody loves Deontay. Everybody and their mother. But Higgins is just a better situation, bro. Even as the number 2 in Cincy, Burrow's on his way up. Burrow's going to unleash the dragon in 2021. Hey, Yarks, by the way, I'm releasing a music video on Instagram. I'll DM you the link after I publish it. It's the best music video. It's going to rival Boats and Hoes and Prestige Worldwide. The label will be reaching out to me. I can almost 100% guarantee that I will be signed within 24 hours. This is the best music video and song you'll ever see. I approve it. You're going to love it. I'm going to go Higgins on this one, Kenny. Higgins just has a lot of youth. Good situation, even though comparatively to somebody else, that doesn't have competition for the number 1 spot. Let me spoil it for you. Chase is the starter, the main guy, the wide receiver 1, the alpha dog. That is Jamar Chase in Cincinnati. Don't get it twisted up thinking Higgins could outbeat him. No, but there's a lot of potential here for Higgins. Claypool, maybe he does catch 8-9 touchdowns in 2021. But what happens when Big Ben takes a shot in the middle of the season? What happens when Big Ben goes down? What happens if Big Ben retires and goes to the woods and grows that beard shit out again? Then where do all 3 of the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers go? We don't know. So it's Higgins. Final answer. Get out of here. Get out of my courtroom. When is the song dropping? At 4 p.m. Pacific time. 7 p.m. Eastern. The show, it will be released. So that's right when I get off the show here. I'm live from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern. So at the end of this show, we might leave early today though, just to let you know. I'll be dropping the hot single called "Trey to the Mother Bay" is what I'm doing. Dropping that single, that beauty. It's amazing. It's an amazing piece of work. Yark says he can't wait. Bro, you're going to love this song. You think I'm joking? You think this music video is just going to be a soft little attempt at some humor? This is a full-blown music video. This is a full-blown song. This is the music. If you want to hear the music, this is the music. It's not the vocals. I took it out. I wasn't going to grace you guys with... Let's listen to it for a second. This is called "Trey to the Mother Freaking Bay." And you're going to jam to this going to pick your kids up from school. You're going to potentially get them kicked out of school. You got to turn it down when you pull up. It's not one of those songs you're bumping with the windows down. Let's just put it that way. 7 p.m. tonight on Instagram. Go to my Instagram, The Fantasy Football Show, and get ready for the release of this debut rap song and rap video by yours truly, Smitty. 7 p.m. tonight, Instagram, 4 p.m. Pacific. Be there. Judy or Smith? Devontae Smith. I mean, I love both. Master Yoda, I'm not going to clown this one and say, you take a lap for putting Judy there. I love Smith. I love both. But Devontae Smith has that 1 to 6 overall wide receiver upside. I'm not saying Judy can't get there in my mind either, but Judy right now is trying to do his best to climb into the top 12, and that's bold enough as it is. So value-wise, Smith is more accepted at a higher level, so trade value's higher, upside's higher. Even though I love Judy, I'm going to go Devontae by quite a bit, but I love both, acquire both. What's up, Kango? Who will ball out? Oh, whoa. Who will ball out more, Elijah Moore or Terrence Marshall? Keep up the good work. Your channel is fire. Thank you. Thank you, Hazcom. Appreciate you. Terrence Marshall. I'm going to say Elijah Moore. I love Denzel Mims in New York, but I think Elijah Moore has a real good shot at building rapport and climbing pretty quickly and doing it all pretty rapidly because he'll be alongside of Zach Wilson, who I think is going to become good very fast. He will need to lean on someone. There's no already built rapport between Wilson and Mims, so Elijah Moore's got a lot of potential to grab the spotlight early. Elijah Moore. Did I say Elijah Mitchell? I like Elijah Mitchell for the Niners. Just saying. Next question. Do you still need someone for the Dynasty League? DM me on Instagram. Would you give up Travis Kelce and a 2022 first for Kyle Pitts? As much as this could turn out to be something that in hindsight, yeah, it looked good because eventually Kelce's going to fall off. And when he does, hindsight's always going to be 2020. But I've got to think that Kelce has at least a couple of years left. And when I say a couple, I don't mean 7. I mean the 2. And I think 1 to 2 is enough time to not be worrying about upgrading youth and getting into a younger vehicle. Just keep Kelce, keep the first rounder. I don't know that I'd go that far, that route. I mean, you have the number 1 tight end right now. You're only trading all of this extra value to get into potentially the next Kelce, but who knows? I mean, I think that Pitts is pretty much locked in to be the next 1 to 4, probably 1 tight end, but you don't know, and it depends on your context of your team. So Lazoid, context matters. If you can't win now, I like your thinking, but maybe you get more, you give up less. I don't know. This feels like a lot. I feel like you can get rid of Kelce right now and get a little bit more. If you can win now, get out of here and go win. What are you talking about? Oh, I gotta message Ryan Hollins. I think he was gonna maybe come on. I don't know if he's gonna or not. He's always a busy guy. Join anytime. I'll be ready. What's the over-under that Ryan Hollins totally forgets that he's gonna come on the show and doesn't come on and does a whole, sorry, Smitty. Let's do a little over-under on it. He's supposed to come on. We'll see. Would you give up? I've already done this. Take a lap, Lazoid, for being on the screen still. All right, yards. No way Kelce is still good for another 3+ years at least. I don't know about 3, but at least 1 to 2. I agree with Yarks, even though he made me hungry. He won't stop. Now he won't stop. Now he's in contempt of court. He won't shut up. I told him to silence himself. I told him, please don't overtalk the judge. And he interrupts again. Can't get enamored by the new guy and forget about them older dogs. This is an old man. You know it is. Yarks, stop interrupting. You already made your point. You like Kelce for 15 more years. Austin, I know predicting injury is sus, but I really feel Kelce doesn't play more than 8 games. That is, I've had injury predictions before, gut instinct, so trust your gut. I'm not going to ever repeat this line again because I think it'll get me in trouble. I think people will be upset at me, Austin. I think that somebody just tuned in and didn't know what I was doing here, and they thought that's my stance because I read it. You have me reading something I don't believe in, Austin, and I don't appreciate it. because I don't agree. Take a lap, but trust your gut. Get out of my courtroom. Do you think Lamar rebounds this year, or is this who he is? Now, first of all, Kenny, let's get something straight, because we're kind of on the same page, even though I'm going to yell at you right here, Kenny. He did rebound. He already did rebound. So I kind of feel like you're looking at this from the flip side, bro. He busted, didn't do anything, turned things around, dropped fire in the second half of the year, and everybody forgets that he shiated the bed the first half of the season. He failed you. If you own Lamar, you probably missed your playoffs because of Lamar. I don't want to hear this, well, he was back to form and he did great, Smitty. Well, you probably lost your league because you spent a third-round pick or even a second-round pick on Lamar, and he crapped the bed. He sharded all over the place. It wasn't even a clean crap. It was a messy one. It left you with cleaning for days. You didn't even know how to recover. You spent so much draft capital on this guy, he crapped the bed. He left you hanging. You lost your league. Only people that did what I said all off-season, all in-season long, mid-season on, trade low for Lamar. Buy Lamar while he was failing. I'll admit, though, in all full disclosure, there was a point during the tail end of his failure at the beginning to middle of the year where I was about to give up. And I think a couple times I go, I don't know, man. I keep telling you to buy him each week. And I'm like, shh. I don't know anymore. I don't know if he's going to turn it around. I've got too many people going and buying this guy, and they're going to get mad at me. He was one of my number one. JT, Lamar were two of my top go-get mid-season players because they were slumping, and I knew they would turn it around. But Lamar, I got scared. Lamar, I thought I was wrong. This boy isn't turning it around. He's not gonna. I'm gonna fail on this one. I've told way too many people to go trading for Lamar. I'm gonna be in contempt of my own court. It's my fault. I caused all this. People are gonna lose their leagues because I said go get Lamar, and I'm gonna be in contempt. I don't know how much time I'm doing. I'm upset. I'm scared. It took him a couple extra weeks than I anticipated, but he came around. So, Kenny, he already did. The question you should be asking, Kenny, if you're cross-examining this thing correctly, let me go ahead and tell you how you come to court, Kenny. Okay? This is what you say. This is your opening statement and your closing statement. Your entire case revolves around this fact right here. Hey, Smitty, Lamar was spotty all year. Like this. And Lamar sharted the bed in the beginning of the year, came back and dominated in the second half of the year. Which Lamar are we going to get? And is the reason to be sus about the guy's performance in the beginning of the year? Did teams figure him out? If he doesn't run, then he's not effective. He ran a lot more in the second half. There's a lot of reasons for a turnaround. Is Baltimore in trouble? Or there are reasons to fear that offensive limitations will get him in trouble? Will J.K. Dobbins translate and open up the passing attack? Will J.K. take away some running touchdowns from him? I'm going to say, you know what I don't like? I don't like the odor or smell of his ADP right now, because I'm whiffing a third round pick, 3.1 to 3.12. And that's where he went last year. How does a Lamar that failed you for half of a year get taken and drafted near the same range he went last year? This is like Miles Sanders going at 14 overall, which I said no. And also Mixon at 14, 15 overall, 12 overall. I said no. Where are those two going after they busted in 2020 in the third round? Why is Lamar going near the same value he was when he busted last year for half of a year? Why? People are overpaying for him. I don't like Lamar at the cost, Kenny. I'm not doing it. I'd rather draft Herbert in round 4.5 to 5. I'd rather draft Josh Allen at 3.7 to 4.1. Those are the tickets, bro. Those are the path to success in 2021. I don't go near Lamar. He runs 150 times a game. I'm not predicting total and utter failure. I'm not predicting not having ups and downs. I think he does have downs. He does have ups. He will do very well. But when you run 150 plus times a season, did I say game? A season. I think I said game earlier. A season, you will get hurt. You cannot sustain at 150 plus rushing attempts a season as a running back. You will get hurt. I'm not buying it. I'm not about it. I'm running from it unless he falls multiple rounds the same way other doubted and busted players are falling. Give me the other quarterbacks. Kenny, you're dismissed. I argued your case for you. I won your case for you. Now get out of my courtroom. Lamar's schedule was pretty good down the home stretch. Smitty, you are the myth, the man, the legend. This is correct. Bruce, if I'm the myth, man, the legend, why are you guys not sending this link out to more people? Do I have to put it in the chat again? Tell people we're live. Tell them to get in here. I'm going to even put it on Twitter right now because apparently I got to do my own work because you guys aren't sending the link out to people. Live on YouTube, 3 hours straight. Okay. Next up, keep one. Mahomes, Allen, Diggs, Kelsey, redraft, one keeper. Thinking of keeping Kelsey. Oh man, this is a tough one. Yarks, put on your earmuffs because you're a Kelsey guy. Okay? I'm going to keep... I like Kelsey. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a fantastic... Like, you could even go 1.12. You know, last pick in the first round, you bookend him with somebody. I'm okay with that. I'm not running from that idea. I don't like him at 7 or 8 or 6 overall, like some people, you know, have been taking Kelsey. But I think Diggs is the guy to keep here. I think Diggs is arguably a 1 to 3 wide receiver. He's only getting better. Josh Allen is only getting better. The rapport is only getting better. He's one of the hardest working wide receivers in the NFL. The man sits there and watches Super Bowl ceremonies, and when people win and he doesn't, he like Clockwork Orange, tapes himself to a chair and sits out there on the field at the corner of the field and watches Super Bowl MVP awards like Clockwork Orange, just sitting there. That is dedication. That's the kind of dedication I like out of my player and my keeper. I'm keeping Diggs. The dude is on. He's in my top 1 to 3. My top 1 to 4 wide receivers. Not overall, wide receivers. And I think he's the least likely to draft back. I mean, him and Kelsey are about the same. You can't go wrong either way. Jerry, Mike Thomas and Mike Davis for Jamar Chase. Oh, man. Here's my thinking here. I worry about Mike Thomas a lot. And Mike Davis only has a good 1 to 2 years that we can count on. I'd count on 1. I wouldn't count on even 2. And who knows if he even finishes the year. He's not a long-term option. He filled in very nicely. He's a super handcuff. And I would love him again in 2021 if he had stayed in Carolina. Because you're not expecting him to start 16 games. I think he's a pretty decent fit for Atlanta. They're not going to get a ton of rushing attempts, you know, his way. Not anything that'll make a number 1 running back, but he's a nose for the end zone. He's a good PPR guy. He pulled like 10 receptions in one game. Not that he'll do that in Atlanta, but he was capable of filling in for Christian McCaffrey at Christian McCaffrey workload levels, and he did well. He just broke down a little bit. He got tired. He's not used to starting 16, 17 games. Now there's 17 games too. I'm not a big fan of his long-term value. I like him. I'm not getting rid of him. If I own him, I'm happy. I'm like, hey, I got a little, nice little surprise here. Maybe he pops it off and surprises everybody for a good 1 year. Maybe 2, but count on no more than 1. Mike Thomas, ligaments damaged. Apparently, I don't know if the news is hidden because it's not out there, but he hasn't gotten the ligament surgery that he was going to get. Why? Why do I trust this man's body to heal itself when he couldn't get back and stay on the field last year? I don't trust his own healing. He needed surgery in my mind, or I kind of walk around him and do a wait and see. Prove it to me that you're healthy. I think I go Jamar Chase, but only if you can weather through that and not like lose too much, Jerry. Close call. Smitty, why are you always negative, bro? That's negative. Contempt. Contempt. Hello, Smitty. Sorry I'm late. Contempt. Contempt. Fred. Pick one. Ridley, Metcalf, or AJ Brown. I have Adams already. Bro. I like all these guys right there together. You have Adams already. This is Dynasty, I assume. I like when I have a little time left. AJ Brown. Or DK. Or Ridley. Any of them. I guess AJ Brown. But, bro, that's tough. Like, you should have made this a keeper league. Fantastic job. But I'm going to lean AJ Brown. I'm going to lean AJ Brown. Next question. Should I trade Smitty, Mr. Giggles, and C-Mac for Raj and Vlad? I would trade all of us for Dr. Raj. And you get Vlad too? I'm just messing with him because he always says that to me. Lies! Lied in my courtroom, Matt. I'm just kidding, Matt. Okay. Which round do you think Herbert should be drafted in a 1 QB redraft league? 4th round is great value, but I in some leagues I've toyed around at 3.12, 3.10, but 4th round, try 4. 4.5 has been a really good sweet spot for me. The Herbert love is out of control. Contempt! I don't like your sign language, Smitty. Media. Actually, Smitty, I would love if you would rank your top 10 QBs for this season. Maybe everyone here would too. Mahomie. Josh Allen. Just for 2021. Let me pull up my rankings and just see if anything's different than what's going on currently in my head. Makes me think, oh, I gotta change my rankings. Alright. Here we go. Wait for the timer to restart. Mahomes. Allen. I know it's high, but Herbert. Try and get him cheaper. Kyler. A-Rod. That's my top 5. Okay. Now, the rest of it, we could dance around it all day long. Is number 6 Lamar, or is it Russell Wilson, or is it Dak, or is it Burrow? Is it Jalen Hurts? What about Tom Brady? How do you leave Tom Brady out there? Matt Ryan's got all the weapons, Smitty. How come you don't have Matt Ryan in there? What about Deshaun Watson? I'm a Deshaun Watson believer, Smitty. He'll get out of it. Nothing happened. He's innocent. Why is Deshaun Watson not there? Smitty, Burrow's injured. Why would you even mention Burrow? Jalen Hurts isn't even the starter yet, Smitty. Lamar Jackson's the best running back in the entire league. How do you have Lamar Jackson out of your top 5? Russell Wilson's inconsistent, Smitty. But Russell Wilson was top 5 for so many years. How can you just overlook him? Dak Prescott, he's coming off injury. Dak's got all the weapons. You love CeeDee Lamb. How can you not? You understand I can't do this. I can't go 6-10 without all of you freaking out. You guys aren't prepared for it. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. And a lot of you don't even know what that means, which is even more frustrating for me. You don't even know what that phrase means. You don't even know the significance. Well, maybe some of you are. YouTube's older than Instagram. I think I got an older crowd here. But you can't handle the truth and the mallet. The significance, mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. The QBs That's right, Matt. Matt and I are in agreement right now. I'm going to put Matt's comment up while we're flowing. Agreed, Matt. Great counterpoint. There are so many quarterbacks, and you can make a case for all of the guys in the 6 to 12 range. I won't be mad at you if you have Dak number 6. I won't be mad at you if you have Hurts number 6, or Burrow number 5, or Burrow 12, or Hurts 5, or Hurts 10. Like, that's the difference between me and some of you negative Nancys that come in and say, you can't have a quarterback like Burrow ranked number 6 over my boy, Dacky boy, Smitty. I sure can, and so can you. That's the point. I fight for you. The reason this court is even here, the justice system in fantasy football, is so you young man and young gal and young everybody out there can go and get the player you want. You can rank up Burrow number 5 in this free country. You're okay. Nothing's wrong. I'm not making you take any laps over liking Joe Burrow, baby boy Burrow, or Dacky boy Prescott, or Jalen mother freaking Hurts. Whoever you like 5 or 6, you have an argument to make. But my top 5 is pretty locked in. It's Mahomes, Josh Allen, Herbert, Murray, and A-Rod. Even though everyone's going to go, Smitty, wait a minute. A-Rod, but he's going through a lot of drama. What if A-Rod isn't in Green Bay, Smitty? What do we do? Number one, if A-Rod's not in Green Bay, he's probably in Denver with Jerry Jeudy, okay? In Mile High, throwing up touchdown passes for a living, making Jerry Jeudy the next Devontae Adams. So, calm down. I don't think he's messed up enough in the head to go after a Las Vegas Raiders spot. I hope not. He'd still do okay there, but not great. Not great. I would be deleting this video if he goes to Las Vegas. A-Rod's not going anywhere. Okay? Maybe 5% to 10% chance there's a trade on some unforeseen thing that I can't see or get my hands on. Like, I don't know the news that maybe A-Rod is so unhappy he's driving the Packers crazy. But what I do know is, logically speaking, and this comes from Coach Hugh Jackson as well, former Browns coach. If the Packers were going to trade mother freaking A-Rod, they would have done it on draft day when they could have consumed now draft capital to help rebuild and not lose the value on Aaron Jones. Like, they can't do an entire rebuild. Think about it logically, people. The Denver Broncos are not going to rebuild from scratch. They're not in a, okay, well, we'll do the long rebuild. No, they just signed Aaron Jones to an extension. They only have 1 year left or so with Adams. I don't know if they can franchise him or not. Someone wants to tell me the Adams situation. Tell it to me. They're not going to do a rebuild. If they were going to do anything, they would have taken the draft capital from this current draft, number 3 overall, taken one of the quarterbacks. They didn't. They got a call from Shanny. They hung up on Shanny. He said, no, we don't want to trade him. Keep your number 3 pick. Go after Trey Lance. I hear Smitty likes him. And they hung up the phone. That's what we're talking about. That's what tells me Green Bay's not trading Aaron Rodgers. They'll call his bluff. A-Rod will sit out before I think he gets traded. But I think even that's exaggerated. When has A-Rod come out and told us this? When? It's everybody speculating, okay? So A-Rod, to me, lock him into the top 5. He goes to Denver. He's still going to have close to those numbers because Jerry Jeudy's a man. Jerry Jeudy is going to deliver. And I'm telling you right now, Jerry Jeudy is going to be a star. And I'm going to own him in every freaking league. Because that's how I roll. Matt, we're in agreement again. Positivity, positive vibes. Gaming. Trade Zeke for Akers in Dynasty. Yes, even a guy that doubts Akers a little bit, not because of talent, because of injury worry and coaching and misuse of running backs in that Rams offense. Easy call. Number one, you can trade Akers for a boatload, bro. You could go get Justin Jefferson for Akers. This is the easiest thing I've been asked all day. I'm not even the biggest Akers fan. Do you value Harris as a flex or no running back strategy back? No. Is there upside? Sure, but I'm not going after it. I'm not feeling like amazing about it, if you know what I mean. Teddy to Judy. Hey, it may be funny to you, Yoda, but it's all we got right now. And big-time wide receivers deliver no matter what. I'm riding the Judy train all the way to the bank, baby. Higgins' outlook. People doubt him with Chase. Bro, here's the thing. So should you a little bit if you're thinking he's the number one wide receiver there. Like, I don't know that there's a person in the world. Martin, I don't know if this is you, and I apologize because you're my boy. Don't take offense to this. But I don't think there's a person in the world that doesn't own Higgins that thinks Higgins is the number one there. It's always somebody that owns Higgins, and they're like, Jamar Chase got drafted, and they're like, Sewell's going to get taken. Sewell's going to get taken. Smitty's wrong. Smitty's wrong. They're not going to take... They're not going to... And the Cincinnati Bengals select Jamar Chase. And this guy's like, Higgins is still the number one. Higgins is still the number one. I get it. I get it. I feel that way about stuff too sometimes. We're all biased against, things that hurt our players. But Higgins is not the number one anymore. Jamar Chase is the number one. But I have good news, Martin. I'm not down on Higgins as much as you draft Amari Cooper because CeeDee Lamb is now the number one and alpha dog in Dallas. Amari Cooper is still going to get the football, bro. And the offense is still going to throw a ton. Burrow is no different. Burrow's going to throw a ton. So Amari Cooper value, that's pretty good, bro. Higgins could be really good. And what if Jamar gets hurt? He'll step up. He's got low-end wide receiver one potential if he's getting all the work. So if something happens, to me, Chase becomes wide receiver one, but both produce exactly what I'm saying. Why are you even in court today, Martin? You're not in trouble. We agree. Bring a more substantial case. Don't forget Cortland Sutton in Denver. Coming off an ACL injury, bro. So he already had a tough enough situation fending off Jerry Jeudy's rise into manhood. And now he comes off a torn ACL. I'm not down on Sutton, but Sutton is not equal to Jeudy. Like, Sutton will not be the wide receiver one there. I hear a lot of people talking like that. Bruce, I don't agree. Trust your gut. You're not in trouble. You're not having to take a lap, but you need to get out of the courtroom with this stuff. Near contempt, bro. No, in all seriousness, don't forget about Cortland. I agree. It's for the people. Thank you, Martin. There is a flag on the play, Smitty. Delay of game, 5-yard penalty, first down. Media, I don't know what you're even talking about. Get out of here. Media has a small a small scene in the music video that drops at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern on my Instagram. The best rap song and rap video, all produced by me. It's a rap video. It airs at 7 p.m. Eastern on Instagram at the Fantasy Football Show and 4 p.m. Pacific time. I'd like to see Smitty answer the question since he's an AZ fan. What question is that? I don't know. Post the question. Hall of J game. Who do you take, Lance or Herbert, 5 years from now? That's a great question. I think my dynasty rankings have to be telling of that. Number 1, I think Herbert's my number 3 dynasty QB, so that says something. It says something about what I feel about him 3 years from now. Now, Lance, do I think Lance could become that good in that Niners attack? I really do feel like he could be. And I don't think it's wrong to hope for that, assume for that. Let's say you had Lance and someone offered you Herbert. You probably should take it and take Herbert. But if you didn't, I wouldn't be calling you crazy at all, because you're taking a long bet and you're not wanting to mess around with, you firmly believe he'll be at that level. I think Lance getting to Herbert's level will be the end game. Like, that's top 3 quarterback numbers. And so you already have Herbert kind of there now. That's why I lean Herbert, but I'm not against this, man. There's not, probably, and media can tell you this, there's probably not a person, an analyst out there that was more hyped or promoting Lance to the Bay than I was. That's why I dropped the music video. That's why the music video is being released at 7 p.m. Eastern on my Instagram, The Fantasy Football Show. I'm dropping a music video on Trey Lance going to the Bay. There's nobody that's put more time into Trey to the Bay than I have, and my quad box team, Dr. Raj, Vladimir, C-Mac, and our boy Media, Mr. Giggles, ours 49er Media. 49er Media on Instagram. Go follow my boy. He's my intern. So, inconclusive. Mistrial. Because really, there's no real answer, but you gotta probably take Herbert, though, bro. Where are we at with the questions? Trey Lance or Kyler was the question. Same answer, man. I think same thing, because I struggle with Herbert and Kyler at my number 3 spot in Dynasty. So every single thing I just said about Herbert and Lance, you got to apply here. I think there's a little more worry about Kyler. Lance runs the ball too, so there's going to be injury risk there. That's another reason why I kind of like Herbert more, because Herbert, I think, is slightly better already. Like, if we envision what Lance is going to become, his ceiling, I think Herbert's slightly better already in that comparison 4 years from now, 3 years from now, whatever. So he doesn't run, little more safety mechanism there. But Kyler Murray has been running longer. Kyler Murray runs for his life. Kyler Murray is very short. He's very small. Will he take the beating that a Trey Lance could take? I kind of want to lean Trey Lance here in a predictive frame of mind. Do I draft Kyler ahead of Lance? 100,000%, because you have to. Because you can trade Kyler for Lance. Don't go getting crazy and saying, I'm going to draft Lance in front of Kyler. You can't do that. Fair market value tells you no. But crafty fashion, you've got Kyler. You like Lance as much. You trade Kyler for Lance and something. Upgrade your bum wide receiver to Jerry Jeudy. Upgrade your decent wide receiver, like a really good wide receiver that's older, like maybe Keenan Allen, to Justin Jefferson. Go get Lance and Justin Jefferson for your Kyler and Keenan Allen. I love it. I love it. Fantastic. I'm getting goosebumps already. My music video's coming out at 7 p.m. Eastern. Are you not excited? Kyler could, like I've said, Nicholas has heard me say this. You can tell Kyler could go play baseball. I've said that over and over and over again. He gets beat up. He wants to bail. And you know who I got that from? All due respect, my boy Yarks, who's in the chat. Yarks is the one who actually first said that to me, and then I started talking about it. So playing baseball is totally in the cards for that guy if he gets beat up way too much. Remember, he got drafted to the MLB, and they're like, okay, are you going to come? And he's like, I'm going to go play football for just give me one. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get ice. I'm going to go play football. I'll be right back. And the MLB waited. And Kyler never came back with the ice bucket. And he went and played pro football. If you think Kyler won't turn his back on the NFL if he's feeling like it's a good business move, you never know, broskies. You never know. That's right, Kenny. Smitty, you like Clyde or Najee Harris, and why? You guys know I love Clyde. I love Clyde, but at the value you need to pay, we're talking about Clydey boy in the 3.5 to 4 range. We're talking about Clydey boy, as a steal, a guy that you don't have to pay top 5 running back value for, but could produce it. Najee Harris is going in Dynasty in round 1. He's going in round 1. He's got running back 1 expectation, running back 1 value, running back 1 trade value. So same thing with Lance versus Kyler or Lance versus Herbert. You don't go drafting Lance over either. If you like quietly that player better, you can get a whole lot more in a trade. So in this example, if you could trade down from the 1.10 into the 3.1 to get Clyde, and in return you're upgrading a Keenan Allen to a Justin Jefferson, then I almost like that, bro. I like that a lot. I love getting Justin Jefferson and Clyde for Najee and an older Keenan Allen or something like that, or Julio Jones. That's how you do it. That's how you roll. I freaking love it. But if we're talking about draft value, you have to take Najee in the top 12. In a dynasty, you have to take him in the top 25, 27. In a redraft, and Clyde doesn't go until the 3rd round. In all formats, you got to know his place. You got to grab him where you're going to get a lot of value. Top 5 pick in the MLB, and he didn't even show up. He didn't even show up. Even with CD overtaking the number 1 spot, do you think Cooper can eat too? Austin, I do think he's going to eat. I think he'll eat like Cortland Sutton would eat if healthy. I think he'll eat like Higgins will eat if healthy. And, once Jamar Chase is going crazy, I think he could produce low end, at least wide receiver 2 numbers. That's really darn good. But I'm not drafting him like in the top 3 rounds or anything. But, Cooper's got a lot of upside still, and he can still get 9-10 TDs. So, pretty decent value there. Max says, let's wait for the music to restart. Give Matt a full minute to get blasted for his verbiage and mistyping. What you Pollard's value is in Dynasty. Is that a song? What's your Pollard's value in Dynasty, bro? What you Pollard's value in Dynasty? Yo, my Pollard's value in Dynasty is probably backup running back, flex value, standalone at best, because the dude isn't locked into anything, bro. He's got to remain, even in a Dynasty, he remains a flex because there's no guarantee of any kind. He's a flex to running back 4. So, Max, don't go overpaying. He's fair market, fairly valued in the market across the board. There's no guarantees with him, but I like him a lot if you're going to draft him as a crafty backup running back. Even in Dynasty, the value's not there. LTNS Smitty, what the hell does that mean, Computer Bob? Somebody tell me what LTNS means. Is that a religion? Or what do you think of Pollard's value in Dynasty? Would you take him over Chuba? I think they're probably very close, man. I think I'd probably take him a little over Chuba. I probably would. Just a little bit. Seems like Joe Computer Bob. I love Computer Bob. Oh, shoot. Computer, glad you're back. Where have you been? Whenever Computer Bob comes in, he turns on my computer. What's up, Bob? I'm very glad to see you. Where have you been? You've been gone too long, old friend. Who are your top 5 players you should stay away from drafting? This is a good question. And what does LTNS means, though? I still don't know, Bob. I have no idea what... Long time no see. You just told me. Long time no see. How old am I? That's very, very old of me to not know that. Whatever. Bob, good to see you. Who are your top 5 players to stay away from drafting? If I had to guess, I would say you're gonna run into a lot of risk with Chubb. Knee injuries. I worry about him. I'm staying away. I'm not feeling Chubb or Henry if we're talking big name players. If we want to take them out of it, then we're gonna say that I'm gonna stay away from probably Godwin at high value. I'm probably going to stay away from A-Rob at high value because I don't know that I trust Fields yet, and new QBs that can cause, a lot of problems. Miles Sanders. I'm in on Miles Sanders or Joe Mixon at the right value, but I still feel worried enough about them. Swift, I'm not going near his high ADP. I'll mess with Eckler in like the middle of the 3rd to 4th, but I'm not taking him in the 2nd. Not going near Chris Carson. You guys know why. Watson's not even draftable, JP, so I'm not going to even mention his name. Those are some of my avoids, man. Could I be wrong on 1 or 2 or 3 of them? Sure. There's always a percentage that a player could do what I'm predicting they won't do. But I think the odds are stacked against all of those players, and you're running a high risk drafting them. Tannehill, really high. I don't like. I'm not sure why people bank on Tannehill. I know he's done well, but there's a lot of good quarterbacks, man. I'd much rather have a Burrow or a Jalen Hurts even though it's kind of risky. Dobbins is a little risky. I can get on board with that. I like him, and I'm worried about him. Because, the volume, you know what I mean? We don't know if the volume will be there. We think it will be because Ingram left, right? No. Gus. I mean, I don't love Gus, but he does fairly well, and they trust him. Marquise Brown. What is this I'm getting? This text message I'm getting a text message. This is a reminder of your success coach meeting tomorrow. If you'd like to cancel, this is a college success coach meeting. Yeah, I'm not enrolled in school anymore, bro. I'm not ever going back to school again. Stop spamming me. What about Akers? Where would you take him? Akers, I feel, and to answer your question, Hollywood Brown, I don't trust the Ravens offense or Lamar right now. I like Hollywood, but I feel like Hollywood got a bad hand dealt to him last year, and it was unfair. Okay. Current question. What about Akers? Where would you take him? I'd take him in the 2nd round, late 2nd round. That's where I'd take him. That's where his value really should be living. But no, people take him at 11, 12, 13. Too rich for my taste. I'm not going near that because of what the freaking Rams have shown us over the years. Like, what have they shown you that makes you believe they will lean on him fully a couple weeks at the end of the year? Well, what happened to the beginning of the year? Why did they wait so long to use him and deploy him? What about Akers? Oh, yeah. Whoops. Got that one. So Akers, no! People have slept on Eckler since he's a running back 1. True, Kevin, but he did get hurt last year. We worried about that with the extra volume. What would have been smart for the Chargers, and I still love Eckler, so I don't know if you heard what I said. I like Eckler in the third round. I'm not grabbing him in the second round because there's too many safer players. But I love Eckler at the right spot. He gets a full offseason to work with Herbert. He's going to do a lot better this year. I still worry about injury, and the Chargers would have been really smart to buy like a Sermon or somebody really good between the tackles to keep Eckler in the receiving department more so than the up the gut between the tackles game. I think his value is in where it used to be, getting out more than Alvin Kamara balanced workload. It was like he was like Kamara, but almost heavier wide receiver type of running back, and that's where Eckler shines. I think Eckler would have been good getting 300, 400, 500 yards rushing maximum, and the rest of it as receiving production. That's where he's done really well. I don't like him getting overworked between the tackles and getting hurt. So that's why he's got a little bit of risk in round 2. But I like him. He's a running back 1 starting. And with a whole offseason to prepare with his boy Herbert, you got to love it. I love the Chargers in 2021. We're talking about potential early Super Bowl MVP talk for Joey Boy. For Justin, Joe Burrow too. But Justin Herbert, early MVP consideration. You watch. Joe Burrow, give him another year, but Joe Burrow could be there too. Najee Harris or Trey Lance in Dynasty. Paul, I don't know if you're talking about a super flex or what, bro, because if you're not, then you are a hardcore Niner fan. And there's no, ifs, ands, or buts. But if this is a super flex, which you didn't put in the details, then yeah, you have an argument to make that you could take Lance over Harris. And it'd be, arguable. I'd still take Harris over him. But if this is a 1 QB league, it is not even close. And I love Trey Lance. It's not even close. Harris is the 1.1. You'd be lucky to see Trey Lance go in the top 5 in a 1 QB rookie only draft. Paul says it is a super flex. Paul, details are important when you come to court. Bring all the information to the judge or the judge will throw your case out. I don't want too much information. I'm very hard to please, Paul. You have to bring the right amount of information because if you overload the information, out you go. This is perfect here. This would have sufficed. I think it's even. Depends on your need. Details will be important with what you need, but you didn't want to overflow. I give you credit for not overflowing the chat. I'm going to say if you don't have really strong quarterbacks, it makes sense to consider Trey Lance. I probably still go Najee Harris unless you're in a heap of trouble at quarterback. Then you kind of have to go Trey Lance. But you could always trade down a couple spots, but don't do that unless you really, really know you're going to get one of these two back. Trey's going to be amazing, bro. So if you are in dire need at quarterback, you cannot make a mistake going Trey Lance or Lawrence or Wilson because you need the quarterback desperately. It's not a mistake. But if you're just getting another quarterback or you have a Herbert and a Hurts or something and you're going to have to put one of those guys on the bench, you got to go with Najee. You got to go with Najee, bro. All right, it's time to put a close to Hey Smitty. We went for an hour and a half. I'm almost tempted to make this whole show this format because you people love it. I love it. Time flies. But that is all she wrote for Hey Smitty. We are now going on to hour 2 where we're going to break down the schedule. We're going to talk about the NFL schedule and we'll look at a little strength of schedule potentially. Let's get the music going. I like the music, man. I don't know. It makes me flow. And if you don't know, now you know that I am releasing my music video. It's not a rinky-dink child's play event. It is a full-blown music video to the tune and likes of Boats and Hoes. Prestige Worldwide will probably want to sign me. My music video and the song, so it's a whole music video, and the release of my new rap debut, Trey to the Bay album, Trey Records. It releases at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And if you miss it, you will be so mad at yourself, although you can rewatch it because it will be up for the long term. So you can go ahead and replay that bad boy. But you do not want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be amazing, and I'm just excited. So let's go over the schedule. Let's go over the week 1 schedule. And I'll screenshot that bad boy and put it on screen here, and we can break down the schedule for week 1. I'm gonna go ahead and give you my wins and loss, or I'm gonna go ahead and predict, the wins and losses for week 1. Let's do that. Okay, let's drop that here. We'll take a screenshot of this bad boy here. And we'll drop the schedule for week 1 on screen and talk about it. I'm getting excited about week 1 already, man. This is crazy. Okay. Here is your schedule for week 1. That is the morning slate of games, continuation of it, and the afternoon games right here. Okay, hour 2 is schedule. Kicking off the... Oh, did I not do the night game? The Thursday night game? Son of a B. My bad. Kicking off opening night Thursday, 5:20 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We have a doozy. We've kind of been hit with, I don't know, we'll see as we go through it. Kind of been hit with some bad matchups on Thursday night, but this one is not. This one is not. The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott back from injury, facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who had a really good draft, and they shouldn't have. It's shameful. It's shameful what everybody let happen. Tampa Bay Buccaneers even got better. They're retaining everybody. They're getting better. The Cowboys will throw a ton. The Cowboys will do very well in 2021. I think the Cowboys will actually give that division some hay. I think if I had to predict, we'll do schedule predictions, I think, too. I'll do standing predictions. If I had to predict, I'm going to say the Cowboys, the Redskins and the Cowboys are going to fight it out to win that NFC East. It's going to be a tough battle. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park for Washington. Now, I do think that Dallas has to improve a lot on defense still, clearly. They're going to have to score a lot of points to win games, but they'll do that. That's the way the regular season works. You get in the playoffs, then your true defensive colors shine through. So if you feel that Dallas doesn't have the defense in order to go the distance, I agree with you. But can they win in regular season games? Probably won't be this one. But I think the Dallas Cowboys have a really good year. I think they win 10 or 11 games, especially if you add the extra game. So we're going to go ahead and say that the... let's put a little check mark or something. Or a win. We'll put win next to the Bucks. Definitely not getting cute and projecting a loss here. I'm just saying that the Cowboys are going to play a lot better than people think. So we'll go with a win for the Bucks. Win. But it'll be, the Cowboys are going to play. The Cowboys are going to look pretty good. Starting off 0-1 sucks, but they'll be motivated. They can't go 8-8, Matt, because there's an extra game. So do you mean 8-9 or 9-8? You got to pick one. Jaguars, Texans. Oh my God. First of all, the Texans couldn't have got more lucky to have, a team that's still going to be trying to weather through the changes going on over in Jacksonville. But I still think the Jaguars win this game. There's no way. I don't know if the Texans will win ever in 2021. They could go 0-17. They could be the first team ever to go 0-17. Colts and Seahawks. This Colts team's going to be... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Chargers, Washington. I almost skipped Washington and Chargers. Good defense against a up and coming Jaguars on the road. Lawrence has never lost a game. Texas won't be the first. The Texans are gonna. They don't have any. We don't know what they're dealing with right now. They're probably not gonna have Deshaun Watson. It's gonna be a mess over there. It's gonna be a mess. So this one, oh man, I just screwed everything up. This one's gonna be tough because I love the Chargers. Washington's a tough football team. They're a tough defense. But what I will tell you is when you go through quarterback changes, it sometimes takes a little time. Everyone's going to expect the Chargers just to win this game. Everyone's going to expect it. And it's at home. But I'm telling you, the Chargers are coming to play in 2021. And I'm going to give the Chargers the nod in this one. Next up will be the Seahawks and Colts. Seahawks and Colts is a tough one because I think Wentz is an upgrade. But I will say this. Same thing I said for Washington. Getting used to Fitz, getting a new quarterback in there. It doesn't always go as smooth as you want it to go in week one. Look at Tom Brady and the Bucs. They struggled a little bit at first because they had to get in a rhythm. Like, that's the perfect example. The team that won the Super Bowl, Tom Brady, needed some time to get used to his wide receivers. And I know that there's a lot of shambles, all over the league, and the Seahawks are one of the teams kind of in shambles. I think Russell Wilson, the veteran that he is, the solid player that he is, I don't care if he's been inconsistent here and there, I think the Seahawks win this game. And I have 3 road teams in a row winning, which is kind of crazy. I mean, the safe bets would probably be Washington and the Colts. I'm going a little bold here. Everybody misses freaking at least 3 or 4 games these days with these predictions. So I do love that everyone's going to be upset over this. Like, that can't happen. Let's look at your bracket at the end of week 1 and see what you missed. And Miss Smitty, we need to get Miss Smitty in here to do this. She's going to start doing this, I think, on maybe Saturday nights or something, or Thursday nights or whatever. Jets and Panthers. This is man, these games are tough. I mean, you've got quarterback adjustment. Does anybody see the trend of my predictions here? All 3 of those teams after the Thursday night game, the Texans, Redskins, Washington football team, and Colts, all have new quarterback situations. And so do the Panthers. But the Jets aren't ready. They're going to be ready. They're going to improve. But we got to give them a little more time than not even 1 week, 0 weeks. But that's still a good matchup for them, because you're talking about a team that has a new quarterback and they're adjusting to everything. It takes some time. Wow, this game's going to be tough. Minnesota Vikings at the Cincinnati Bengals. I do believe the Bengals will get there. I think the Bengals could make a run at least 2 of the teams in their tough division, whether it's Pittsburgh and Cleveland, or if Cleveland wins the division, then Pittsburgh and the Baltimore Ravens won't be that far ahead of the Bengals come midseason. But I think it's going to take them a little time. They've got some offensive line things they're working, a lot of moving parts. For my week 1 predictions, you're going to notice a trend of me steering away from teams that have a lot of new moving parts as they get adjusted. It doesn't mean I don't think they will. It just means that it's going to be a little tough to be in sync for week 1. I'm going to give the nod to the Vikings. Next up, we're going to go over to the right side of the screen, and the Cardinals versus the Titans. This is a very, very tough matchup for me. I'm a big Cardinal fan. I'm here in Arizona, so I'm trying to be objective here. Tennessee Titans. Yarks, are you still here? Tennessee Titans. they have some pieces that have left. They have some adjusting that they need to do. From a passing perspective, Derrick Henry is going to come out of the gate running hard. Arizona's improved their defense a little bit. They've improved their offense a little bit. They had a pretty good draft. So, if you consider all the moves they've made this offseason and the draft, the Arizona defense will be a lot tougher than people think. They're one of my sleeper defenses for 2021. Much improved defense. And adding Rondell Moore on offense makes me really excited about the Cardinals, although Rondell Moore may not be in play or productive in week 1, so that could take some time. God, this is a tough one. What's the chat think? What do you guys think on the Cardinals Titans? I really badly want to go Cardinals, but I almost want to say if it was at home, I'd feel a little different. But the Titans have a lot of. I just wonder. Losing Jonnu Smith, losing Corey Davis, will they be a little off in week 1? Trying to get adjusted to that, because again, my theme is moving parts, people. Moving parts. Let's just say, yeah, Matt, I'm feeling the moving parts are concerning me a little bit about this game, so I'm going to go with the Cardinals and say that the additions aren't going to be confusing or disruptive, whereas the Titans are going to have to figure how to live without Jonnu and Corey and add new pieces to the puzzle. This next one, I know you guys think I'm biased because I do all this 49er stuff, but this isn't even close. The Lions and the Texans are the only teams that I think have a shot at literally going 0-17 for the first time ever. Where's Ryan Hollins? He's like 8 hours late. Damn, Ryan. Oh, what about, I gotta send the link to, Rob. See if Rob wants to get in. State of mind. Okay, next. So, yeah, complete lambasting of the Niners on the Lions. Complete. Like, this is going to be like, do we put in Trey Lance for the second half of this game and give him a whole, if he's not starting week 1? This is going to be crazy. Maybe they run Trey Lance out there halftime. They're like, take over the second half. It's 42-0. Oh, man. That's what a warm-up game. I didn't know the Niners had a preseason game in week 1. Okay. Niners get another preseason game. That's not fair. This is a good one. Steelers versus the Bills, but we know what's going to happen. The Buffalo Bills are going to take it. The Steelers, look, Big Ben isn't the same Big Ben. He just isn't the same. Yeah, the Lions could do the inverted undefeated move. The inverted undefeated move. The 0-17, baby. Give me the Bills. I like the Steelers, defense, obviously. Offensive line issues, getting used to a new rookie running back. Your quarterback potentially has fallen off. We don't know where he's at in his career. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Give me the Bills. Give me the Bills. Falcons and Eagles. Look, I like the Eagles a lot. They've got a lot of potential, but you guys see my theme. Moving parts. Quarterback situation is not even locked down yet. They won't even commit to him. New wide receiver. We don't know what the offense is going to look like. They didn't lean on Miles Sanders last year, so if they lean on him now, there's new things, new components there. This team, I don't feel like the Eagles have a chance of winning this game, but they will get better as the season moves along. So pretty easy win there for me. Chiefs, Browns. I mean, as much as you guys are going to want the Browns to hold their own in this game, the Chiefs went from having a horrible offensive line problem to completely solving it. And there's just no ifs, ands, or buts. This is the way it is. Chiefs are gonna beat the Browns. It's in Kansas City. Not even going to be close, in my opinion. Maybe in the first half it will, but I think this is going to send the Browns down that maybe not as good of a year as you think they'll have, and the Bengals will catch up and really have a chance in this division. Packers and Saints, look, I know what you're going to say. Maybe A-Rod's not even there. If that happens, I'll readjust. I'll recalibrate, okay? But Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers knows what he's doing in chaos. Aaron Rodgers lives in chaos. Aaron Rodgers marinates in chaos. He's born in the dark, molded by it. Okay? This is where he lives. If it was not chaotic, he wouldn't be comfortable. So if anybody thinks this will affect his play, you're right. It'll make him play great. He will play great because of it. A-Rod plays better when he needs to score a touchdown with 35 seconds left in the game and he's at the 50-yard line. That's where Aaron Rodgers thrives under pressure and chaos. This doesn't concern me at all. If you think that it's going to affect how I view A-Rod, you don't know how I evaluate. This is good news for A-Rod. He will thrive in the chaos. And I think he stays. I don't think Green Bay's ready to rebuild. They've got Aaron Jones. Everything's going to be fine. I will adjust and adapt if anything happens, but I'm going to say that the Packers are going to have an amazing year in 2021. And I think they give A-Rod his fat contract in a couple weeks from now, a couple days from now, maybe a month from now. But A-Rod will be in Green Bay. He'll have his fat contract. He'll be happier. Prepare for it. This one's a tough one. Denver Broncos versus the Giants. But I'm going to say until the quarterback situation gets worked out, pretty easy call in the end for me because the Giants have Barkley back. Danny Dimes isn't like a rookie or anything. He's Kyle with the super chat. Attaboy. What do you think of Gainwell? I got him in a draft. I love Gainwell, bro. He's a really good PPR guy. Better receiver than Miles Sanders already. He will be considered the receiving back there. That's bad for Miles Sanders. You don't want a receiving back coming in and just taking all the PPR work from Miles Sanders. That's why I worry about Miles Sanders. So Gainwell comes in and becomes an immediate PPR threat. Give him about 2, 3, 4 weeks, maybe week 5, week 4 before you start thinking you can count on him, though, just to let you know. So I would probably say that by mid-season, he could have himself a pretty decent PPR role, be a flex-like type value for you maybe in fantasy football or an injury filler, and then hope for the best, man, because if he ends up looking good and he ends up getting more and more work, he could turn into the starter there. That's why I worry about Miles Sanders. But don't expect anything because Miles Sanders has still got potential and he's a good running back, but not good news for Miles Sanders owners that they've drafted one of the better PPR guys in the draft. Yeah, so Giants are going to win this, I think, on the shoulders of Barkley, Galladay being there. I know there's a lot of moving parts, like I said, with some of the other teams, but Denver's got a lot of the same concerns, the quarterback situation. They're bringing in a new running back. Will they even get him in the game in week 1? We don't know. Denver's really got problems they've got to iron out, and I don't think they can stand a chance against the Giants with Saquon back, and I think this is going to be a pretty easy win at home for the Giants, but you never know. You never know. Next game, Dolphins versus the Patriots. This is in New England. Now, this one's tricky. This one could have you scratching your head after the game where we are all like, Bill Belichick did it again. His team's awful looking, but effective. And I want to vomit in my mouth from a fantasy perspective, but he gets it done. I could easily see this being a W. I really could. But Miami's got a really good defense. Miami's got a really good offense. I don't love Tua, but Tua just got better in my mind because he got a weapon. He got Waddle. They have, they have a lot of good pieces they got from this draft, and I think Tua gets better because of it. And Waddle's not a real big factor in week 1 for me. He could be, but I'm not going to count on that. But Denver's got the defense to match with the Patriots already, so it's good defense versus good defense. So then what's it come down to? That Miami's got a better offense. They just do. You don't know what the New England Patriots are even going to run or do. The double tight end, how effective is Cam going to be in week 1? Will Cam even get replaced? Will this be a team you count on later in the year, but not in week 1 because you don't know when the transition will happen between Cam and Mac, or if it even does? So give me the Dolphins. They feel a lot safer, and it's not like the defense is weak or anything. They both have strong defenses, and one of the teams, the Dolphins, has a better offense. So give me the Dolphins all day. Rams versus Bears. This won't be a contest. First of all, it's in LA. Second of all, the Rams, even though they have moving parts and a new quarterback and some adjustment that needs to go on, they still had an effective run game that we hope they utilize in week 1. Maybe they do. Maybe it's a different running back. Maybe they do finally lean on Cam Akers and he becomes that elite running back that he could definitely become. Good wide receivers, veteran wide receivers that I think can help Stafford, veteran quarterback, build a rapport rather quickly, but they still could have some ups and downs, but nowhere near the ups and downs that Chicago's going to have at their quarterback position. Fields is going to struggle if he starts this game. And if Dalton starts, they're not going to win the game. And they're not going to win the game if Fields starts. They're not going to win the game, period, in my mind. This is a very, very easy win. Almost one of those survivor picks, if you need one. There's a lot of survivor picks in here. I think the one that feels the lock, though, if you need a survivor pick, will be the San Francisco 49ers over the Lions. I just don't know that you want to use that pick right away because you can never use the Niners again. And there might be other picks that are even better. Like where's the Texans one? No, never mind. Jaguars, Texans. Who the hell knows? Defense. A fumble return could cause the score and that one to change it. If I'm doing Survivor, I think I go with the Rams or the Niners. I think I just, you want to save your team sometimes, but at the same time, you want to win each week and not get cute. And then what good is saving a team like the Niners in your Survivor if you've already lost and you're out? Ravens versus the Raiders on Monday night. This is kind of a tough one, but I just don't believe in the Raiders, man. I think that they're going to be a mess this year. And I think that they can win games. I think they can go 9-8, or they could go 8-9. But I don't know that they're going to be like any kind of, jaw-dropping team. The Ravens will be up and down. Lamar will be hot and cold. But maybe he starts off on fire in this one. And it's a pretty easy call for me. So I feel pretty good about that. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I feel pretty darn good about these predictions right here. Yeah. Buccaneers, Cowboys. Rob's going to jump on here in a second, hopefully, and we will break this down. See if Rob disagrees or agrees with me on any of these. We could go records on the board here. So I don't know if I probably don't want to leave that up and show the, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to close all this. And we're going to go to the marker board. And we'll look at records. We'll do records on the year. How's that? We'll do records on the year to close out the show. This will take a long time anyway, so it'll be a fun segment. So let me go over to the marker board. And what do you know? A little drawing there for you. Little nice drawing there for you. Let me take a photo of that before I delete it, because that's actually part of the music video. And I may sell this as art, as a potential NFT. The original artwork from the music video. God, I don't want to erase this. It's a masterpiece. So important to the music video. Let me take another couple photos. This is just art right here. This is phenomenal art. All right, there we go. It's so sad to see it go. Oh. If you guys want to see both of these in the music video, it launches tonight on my Instagram at 7 p.m. Eastern. On Instagram. Don't miss it. Okay, let's start off with the NFC West. NFC West. We'll go teams in black. We'll go San Fran. I'm gonna try and put them in order. I might change my mind in the middle of it though. San Fran. I did this yesterday. Seattle, AZ, and LAR. Now, I know a lot of people are going to get upset in this segment, and you're going to say, how can you do this? How can you do that? How can you have the Rams not winning this, not winning that? Can't believe this. Well, guys, somebody's got to lose. Somebody's got to be last place in the best division in the NFL, which is the NFC West. Somebody has to lose this division, or at least tie, okay? So before you get all your panties in a bunch and you get upset at my record predictions here, just calm down. This is last year. So 12-4 is last year. San Fran was 6-10. So 6-10 last year. Seattle was 12-4. That was last year. Cardinals were 8-8. That was last year, and the Rams were 10-6. So this year, I'm going to go with the extra game. 10-7. Nope, 11-6. 11-6. 10-7. 10-7. 10-7. This is the toughest division in football. We will have, I think, I don't know if it's probably been done before, but last year it was only the Bengals in that NFC or AFC North that were not a double-digit win team. They had 3 of them. But I think this year with the added game, we're going to have 3 double-digit win teams. Niners 11-6. Seattle has a very, very good second half of the year schedule. Cardinals, I think, are going to lose games. They have some tough games. They can't, I don't think, get past 9 or 10 wins. Just me being objectively honest and looking at it. And then the Rams, like I said, the Rams have some tough matchups, but the biggest part is getting that camaraderie and rapport built. They're going to have some ups and downs, so I think 10-7 is not crazy. But this is a tough division. This is the toughest division in football. Like, to get into the playoffs is going to be tough because you have 4 teams that arguably are playoff worthy teams. NFC South. I'll try and put these in order. NFC South. It's going to be the Bucks. It's going to be Atlanta, New Orleans, and then Carolina. Last year, the Saints were 12-4. Bucks were 11-5. which people forget that they didn't even have the best record in the division. That's what I'm saying about Tom Brady. It took time for him to develop the rapport. 5-11 for the Panthers. And what was the record for the Falcons? 4-12. So the options, just because I'm trying to think about this off the top of my head. So 11-6 are options, 12-5, 13-4. We also have 9-8, 8-9, 7-10, 6-11. Just so I can quickly roll through that. I want to write those down. Okay. Tampa Bay will go 11. Oh, God, they have a good schedule, I think, too. 12-5. Falcons 10-7. New Orleans 9-8. Carolina Panthers 8-9. New Orleans could go 10-7, but I just think there's going to be some ups and downs for them. It might just be one of those years. I just don't feel ultra confident. I like Taysom Hill, but I don't feel ultra confident that it's all going to just flow well all year. I think there's going to be a lot of ups and downs for the Saints. I could see this maybe being a 10-7 season for them, I suppose. But Carolina, I don't see Darnold turning things around too much. I mean, they had 5 wins last year, guys. I know that they had McCaffrey out, but I just don't see. Maybe 9-8, maybe 9-8. I mean, that could definitely happen. Let me take a picture of this. I'll post these on IG. Okay, let's move on to the NFC East and North. Okay, NFC East and NFC North. NFC East. You guys won't all agree with this, but I'm going to say Dallas finishes first. Maybe they tie with Washington. New York Giants and Philly might be tied. We'll see. I like Philly's odds. Philly might actually be third. I just have to think it out for a second. Okay, so Redskins last year, the football team last year was 7-9. It's going to take me a while to forget about the team name that I've known for decades and decades. I always forget. I always call the Raiders Oakland too. Washington was 7-9. New York was 6-10 last year. Philly was 4-11, and Dallas was 6-10. I'm gonna say that Dallas is 11-6. Washington. You know what? I just couldn't put Washington down there. I like Fitz a lot. I think defense is good. I think 11-6 is pretty. With the extra game, it makes sense. But I do think Dallas has a really good year. CeeDee Lamb's going to go off. Okay, NFC North. Green Bay. Minnesota. This is going to be an easy division. Chicago, Detroit. Okay, last year's records. Detroit 5-11. Chicago was 8-8. Minnesota was 7-9. This is an awful division. And the Packers 13-3. Packers, I believe, will be 12-5. Minnesota will be 9-8. Or do I want to put 10 wins? That extra game's tricky because you want to put them like above 500, but then with the extra game, Chicago, I'm going to say, is 6-11. Detroit is going to be 3-14. Is that correct? 3-14. Maybe even 2. You know what? Yeah, 3-14. Minnesota could be 10. I could see them being 10-7. But I'm gonna put them at 9-8 for now. Not everybody can have a glorious season, everyone. Not everybody's everything's not gonna go to plan for every single team. So let's take a photo of these bad boys. We're done with the NFC. Moving on to the AFC, baby. AFC South. And the AFC East. Okay, in the South, I'm going to have... God, this is kind of a tough one. Colts and Titans. In the East, we're going to have the Bills, Buffalo, Miami, New England, New York Football Jets. Okay, Tennessee last year was 11-5. Indianapolis last year was 11-5. Houston was 4-12. Let's go ahead and put them at so 4-13, 3-14, 2-15, 1-16. I'm going to go ahead and put them at 1-16. I think they don't lose every game, but they're the worst team in the NFL. And they don't have Deshaun Watson. New England was 7. Jacksonville, wait, where are we at? Jacksonville was 1-5 last year. Or 1-15, sorry. 1-5, 1-15. I think that they have a 7. You know what? I think they're going to do it 8. 8-9 season. I think Lawrence is that good. That's not crazy too though. 8 games is not like you're not making the playoffs, but I think Lawrence turns his team around a lot. Colts will go 10-7. Titans 10-7. Bills were 13-3 last year. I think they're 12-5. The Dolphins were 10-6 last year. I think they go 10-7. New England was 7-9 last year, and I believe they go 8-9. And the Jets were 2-14 last year, and I believe they go 6-11, maybe 5-12. Okay, AFC North and West. This one will be fun. This one's going to cause some drama. Last year, the Browns were 11-5. I think they go 10-7. Baltimore last year was 11-5. I think they go 10-7. Cincinnati last year was 4-11. I think they go 9-8. I think they make a real tough push. And Pittsburgh last year was 12-4, and they fell apart. I think Pittsburgh is 8-9. I think Cincinnati beats out Pittsburgh, and I think Cincinnati really gives a run for everyone's money in this what people think toughest division. And not as tough division as some of the other divisions in the NFL now. I told you that one's going to be a little controversial. And AFC West. Kansas City Chiefs. The Los Angeles Chargers. The Denver Broncos. And the Las Vegas Raiders. Last year, 14-2. Let's see. I think they go 13-4. The Chargers last year were 7-9. And I think the Chargers go 10-7. You know what? 11-6. Chargers go 11-6. Denver 7 what did they have last year? Denver was 5-11, and the Raiders were 8-8. I think 7-10 for Denver, and the Raiders go 7-10. That is how I see it. Did I take a picture of the other one? I hope I did. That is how I see it. Clear. Two tough teams coming out of this division. I think this is softer this year than people are going to expect. I think the Niners and another team from the NFC West are going to potentially get into the playoffs. Bucks It's going to be tough between the Cowboys, Washington, Green Bay. I think the NFC is pretty darn tough. I think the NFC is tougher in general than the AFC this year. I think KC and, one team from the AFC North with the Bills, the Dolphins, and you could say the Titans, but the Colts. But I'm going to say the Titans and Colts need a year adjusting with the changes that they've made. But that's me. I just think there's so many tougher teams in this NFC conference this year, with the Seahawks, the Rams, the Cardinals, the San Francisco 49ers all coming from one stinking division. And then you got the Bucks, you got the Redskins, the football team, and the Cowboys. You have the Packers. This is a tough conference. And a lot of good teams this year to root for. It's going to be a fun season. Okay, the show is I'm gonna end the show early today. I'm getting ready for the music video release. The music video you will be able to find on IG at the fantasyfootballshow.com, .com. It's Instagram. Instagram.com/the fantasyfootballshow. But just go to IG. Make sure you are ready to roll. My music video drops at 7 p.m. Eastern on Instagram. Music video dropping at 7 p.m. Eastern on Instagram. The Fantasy Football Show on Instagram. This is going to be the best music video you've seen in a decade or more, if not ever. It's going to be one of your favorite songs that you bump to while you're driving anywhere, to the grocery store, to the bar, to go play golf, Top Golf, whatever you do, you're going to want to bump this song. It's called Trey to the Mother Effing Bay, and it is the best thing you're going to see musically, visually, auditory. All the senses are going to get just enamored by this music video. Dropping on Instagram at the Fantasy Football Show at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 p.m. Pacific time. That's 50 minutes. 50 minutes this masterpiece will be up. I'm actually ending my show a little early just to prepare for the release of this beauty. So get on over to my IG and check it out. Last couple comments here. Matt says, no way the Bears go 6-11. There's definitely a possibility they do better, bro. That's just my take on it. I've changed my thoughts, here and there already on some of these teams that I did a little bit ago. Hey, Smitty, do you think I should trade Miles Sanders and future first for the 1.5? I think, yeah, that's not a bad option. It just depends on how high you think your pick will be. But it also depends on the context of your team. Trey Area says, Matt, get ready. Smitty equals Heisenberg. That is correct. Steelers start with a 1. Smitty, let's not play games. A 1 with a win. You mean with a win? You're the one playing games, bro. Take a lap. 8 wins for my Steelers, but have a great night, Smitty. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate you, Kenny. You're approved. Just smacked my laptop. Hopefully it's okay. I'll see you guys on the flip side. 7 p.m. Do not miss my music video release later.